Ever wondered how developers write scripts or codes quickly and efficiently? They often use something called an IDE. Why is it important? How does it make coding easier? We'll cover the definition of IDE, its features, examples, benefits, and how it helps developers write better code more efficiently. So what exactly is IDE? IDE stands for Integrated Developmental Environment. It's a software application that provides developers with tools to write, debug, test, and manage code just in one place. Think of IDE as a Swiss Army knife for coding. Instead of switching between different tools for writing or for coding, testing and fixing code, an IDE combines everything you need into one package. Why should you use an IDE, or why use an IDE? First thing is because of the efficiency. An IDE saves time by integrating multiple tools into one interface, so you don't have to jiggle between apps. Error reduction. It helps catch error while you are writing code, saving you from long debugging sessions on later on. It's easy to use. Even beginners find it easy to code because of helpful features like syntax highlighting and auto-completion. So what are the key features of an IDE? Have the code editor. This is where you write your code. It often comes with features like syntax highlighting, which colors your code to make it easy to read, or it signifies there's an error in your script file. Example, you have the debugger, the tools that help you find and fix errors in your code by running it step by step. While the compiler and the interpreter integration, this allows you to convert your code into machine readable instructions and run it directly from the IDE instead of having an interpreter separately or a compiler separately. An IDE comes with these two. Auto completion. As you type, the IDE suggests the rest of the code, saving time and reducing typos. While the project management, you can organize and manage files, libraries, and settings for large projects within the IDE instead of going to your file explorer and be messing around. IDE, you can do it directly from the IDE. While the version control, many IDEs integrate tools like Git to help you track changes and to collaborate with others. We also have the built-in terminal. Access the command line directly within the IDE to run commands or scripts. While the plugins and the extension, you can add extra features to customize your IDE for specific language or framework. Examples of popular IDE. We have the two mainly general purpose developmental environment. The first is the VS Code or the Visual Studio Code. VS Code or Visual Studio Code is a lightweight, versatile, and supports in many programming languages. We also have the one mainly for Python, which is called the PyCharm. It's designed for Python developers with advanced debugging tools. Just know that this PyCharm is mainly designed for Python programming. I also have the ones for web development. We have the one called WebStorm. It's ideal for JavaScript and front-end development. We also have one for mobile development. We have the Android Studio. Android Studio, also called an IDE, is tailored for building Android apps. We also have the Xcode, designed for iOS and macOS app development. We have the IntelliJ IDEA, which is designed for Java development, a powerful tool for Java developers. We also have the Cilion, which is for C++ and /C development, a great choice for C and for C++ developers. So make sure before you pick an IDE, just make sure to know what type of IDE you are picking. So you won't want to have PyCharm and then you want to run Java or JavaScript on there. It's going to have a problem to it. So the best is to make use of VS Code, which is mainly a general purpose programming IDE. What are the benefits of using IDE? Like I made mention earlier, it speeds up the development, it improves code quality, simplifies complex projects. So within features like auto completion and debugging, you can write and test codes faster. Syntax checking and linting help ensure your code is clean and error-free. Friendly. Features like tutorial, templates, and guided setup make it easier for beginners to get started. It also have the cross-platform support. Many IDEs like VS Code or multiple can work or can be used on multiple operating systems, so your workflow stays consistent. So what are the disadvantages of using an IDE? We have the learning curve. Some IDE are packed with features which can feel overwhelming at first. Resource intensive. IDE like Android Studio or IntelliJ IDEA can be heavy on system resources, requiring a faster computer for it to be used on. It has dependency. Relying on IDE specific tools can make it harder to switch to another environment later on. And how does IDE help developers? Does IDE actually have any help to developers? First, we are going to look at real life example. Imagine you are building a website, for example. An IDE like VS Code can highlight your HTML and CSS syntax, suggest JavaScript functions, and even let you preview the site all in one place. So you can see one of our advantage of using IDE and how IDE helps programmers. It can help you to highlight your HTML and CSS. If you are debugging a Python script in PyCharm, for example, it lets you run the code step by step, showing where error occurred, what the variables are at each point. So you can see that IDE has a whole lot of advantage to that of programmers. So how to choose the right IDE? Talking about IDE and having a whole lot of IDE is not going to be helpful if you don't know the right IDE to choose. First is the programming language that you are going to make use of. Choose an IDE that supports the language you are working with. For example, PyCharm is for Python, or IntelliJ IDEA is for Java. So there's no way you're going to use PyCharm for Java or make use of PyCharm for PHP. You can see it's not going to work. So make sure you know the programming language you are using, you want to make use of, and then you can go online to check for the IDE that is suitable for that language. We have the project side. For small script, a lightweight IDE like VS Code works well. For larger project, you might need a more robust IDE like IntelliJ IDEA. So we also have the system resources, the plugin and the customization. Check if the IDE allow plugin to extend its functionality for your specific need. And so you can make sure that your computer can handle the IDE. Heavier IDE requires more memory and processing power. So this is what to Here's a recap of what we talked about. An IDE is a powerful tool that simplifies coding and boosts productivity, whether a beginner or an expert. The right IDE can make all the difference. So what is your favorite IDE? If you are new to coding, which one are you excited to try? Let me know in the comment section below. I'll be happy to see and assist you with the IDE to pick. If you're unsure where to start, download free IDE like Visual Studio Code and try it out. Don't forget to subscribe for more coding tips and tutorials. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe. It's not going to take you money. Just hit the subscribe button. So this is the end to this video. I'll see you in my next video. Thank you for watching.